Hey, everybody. This is Nevin Gutak, your host of the Populist Patriot. I just wanted to say a few words here about the victory for American workers over that globalist oligarch corporation, Amazon. We'll be talking about that. But first, I wanted to wish everybody a happy Easter and a happy Passover. To recognize, of course, for Passover, the liberation of the Jewish people over the oppressive Egyptian pharaohs. It's a big victory for the Jewish people, for the Israelites, and also for the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who the various Christian religions recognize as Messiah. So, both very auspicious occasions, and I wish everybody a happy Easter and a happy Passover with many more in the future. And that you all have a good time uh, with your families, with your children, and your friends. Now, I just want to take a few moments to catch up on some really great news, actually, from our perspective at the Populist Patriot. Because no, we are not a conservative Reaganite channel. We are not an extreme left channel. We are a populist channel. So this is all coming from a civic nationalist and populist viewpoint. So, as I'm sure many of you know, there was a rather huge victory of labor, of American labor, rooted in the community, over that of that globalist oligarch corporation known as Amazon.com. Now, Amazon.com is as a concept, it's great business. It's a great business concept, no issue with that. But there are a lot of pitfalls with that corporation. It is indeed a massively profitable corporation. That in itself is not a bad thing. However, it's how they make their money and their labor management model. Amazon.com. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tomas. Tomas Viana. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you and yours, Tomas. Regarding Amazon, look, they have an intensely close business relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, with the People's Republic of China, like many multinational corporations, number one. That itself makes it, like many American multinationals, it puts a bad taste in my mouth. But even more, just as significant, is Amazon's notoriously oppressive working conditions at their warehouses. I'm sure you all can do a Google search on the various mainstream newspapers on this and other sources where Amazon, their workers considered underpaid, overworked, they're surveilled in typical Stakhanovite, the labor program, the labor speed up program under Stalin's Soviet Union. Amazon.com's business model is very similar to that. There's a lot of massive speed up of production, or at least of the warehouse work. The warehouses, at least at one point, they had very oppressive conditions with the air conditioning or the lack of air conditioning, people falling and fainting at work, and ambulances having to be stationed outside Amazon warehouses to take the workers who have fainted because of the working conditions, the extreme heat during the summer, to the hospitals. You take a look at the surveillance systems, not only in the United States, but even in Amazon facilities in Germany, where they've even hired private security services that were tied to neo-Nazis too as well. This is Amazon, this supposedly woke corporation. And let me tell you something about woke corporations. The only reason why they're woke is so they can make more money. That's all they care about. I mean, multinational corporations will do business wherever they make money. And screw morality. Screw the Christian concept of the golden rule. That's way bye-bye to most on Wall Street and multinational corporations. They don't care. So Chris Smalls, who's a Hackensack, New Jersey native, he was pursuing wanted to pursue a career in baseball, as well as became a rapper or aspired to be a rapper. And then in order to support his family, because he had several kids, he held a variety of warehouse jobs, and he landed himself a position, I think by 2015, in Amazon and their Staten Island, New York warehouse, JFK8. And Amazon was found to have, at least at that facility, violated COVID-19 social distancing and quarantine protocols, allegedly. And Smalls also revealed many of the same oppressive working conditions in the Amazon warehouses, or warehouse in Staten Island, presumably other warehouses located across the country and even the world. So Smalls staged a walkout and began a union organizing drive. Amazon went after him. Typical union busting propaganda. This supposedly woke corporation that's supposedly progressive and enlightened, not use the most reactionary, labor-hating playbook and saying, oh, the unions, the dues are too expensive, and oh my gosh, you lose your voice. I mean, give me a freaking break. Amazon's public relations and their union-busting lawyers put out propaganda saying that, warning the workers, you would lose your bargaining right, your right to negotiate as an individual. Really? You think a freaking individual employee has the same equal power as that of their manager, supervisor, or even Jeff Bezos? Are you kidding me? How dishonest do these union busters think? These union busters are at the peak of dishonesty. I mean, just as dishonest as National Socialists and Communists. These reactionary, supposedly right-wing union busters, because that's what they are. And they'll represent, and these woke corporations, boy, they'll go reactionary and anti-progressive, boy. Oh boy, when they have to save a nickel, oh boy, they'll become as reactionary as the Koch brothers as far as it goes. So anyway, Chris Smalls, with the support of the Congress of Essential Workers, formed an organization called the Amazon Labor Union, won the victory. There was a vote where the pro-union people got a little over 2,600 votes, and the anti-union votes amongst the workforce was 2,131. So it was kind of close, but it was still a great victory. We at the Populist Patriots salute Chris Smalls on this issue. We salute the Amazon Labor Union. We declare our solidarity and 100% support for them in their future endeavors within a tightly regulated capitalist, what we want at least as a tightly regulated capitalist system. We support their right to get the best possible wages and benefits for their hard work on behalf of the American consumer, and for them to be able to support their families. Did you know 2 of the labor organizers for the Amazon Labor Union live out of their cars? Really? Really? Massively profitable corporation where Jeff Bezos, the until recently CEO of Amazon, sending spacecraft to the moon and into outer space, and buying homes, massive mansions and yachts left and right. That's been in the mainstream press. And yet his workers living in their cars, where you have for years, even under that help and change Obama, where you had these elderly people working at Amazon and middle-aged people working at Amazon, where now they have these campers. They go from warehouse to warehouse, job to job, but they just live on these campers in the Amazon parking lots and elsewhere. This is the Ayn Rand paradise of this oligarchic, plutocratic variant of globalist capitalism, which is driving more and more people into left-wing sympathies. It's alienating more people, just as Marx predicted. And we are not Marxists in a programmatic sense on this show, but this is becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, this is why I support, and this show, Herschel, my co-host, and I strongly support unions. It is disgusting that you have a company that profiteers massively and mightily while their elements of their workforce live in their freaking cars. How disgusting. And anybody, and I mean anybody, who supports this, apologizes for this, makes excuses for this, are beneath contempt. And I know this might cost me a few viewers, but remember, this is a populist show. This bar, this restaurant, this crib, this place here, this is a populist show. And we are populists, patriotic, civic nationalist populists. And Amazon, in this case, is the villain. So go, Chris Smalls. Go, Amazon Labor Union. We support you 110%. And we support massive unionization in the United States to rebalance the relationship. And yes, to stabilize and create a new form of capitalism that will stabilize the system, improve it for perpetuity, for generations to come, which will ultimately relieve America of this sharpening class struggle, because we, as nationalists, we don't believe in class struggle. And right now, Reaganite, globalist, Tea Party, reactionary variant of capitalist globalism is driving the class struggle. It's driving the wedges in the classes. We do not support class struggle from the left or the right. Wow, what a rant. But I guess a show wouldn't be interesting without me ranting and raving. That's, I guess, what makes being a YouTube commentator kind of fun. So we support the Amazon Labor Union. We continue to support them and struggle for living wages. I mean, speaking of living wages, another little piece. A proposed internal Amazon app for chatting. Well, the company is going to ban uses of words living wages, bathrooms, working, anything related to working conditions. Let me pull up this article here. Okay. Yeah, workers peeing in water bottles and drivers peeing in water bottles and pooping in diapers. Yeah, really great company. This is desperate for a union. This is in Fortune magazine by Ian Mount, April 5th, 2022. No union living wage or restrooms. A planned Amazon internal app could ban words in employee chats. So in these internal chats, words like union, living wages, grievance, pay raise, slave labor, this is dumb, restrooms, I hate, fire, terminated, compensation, bullying, harassment, I don't care, rude, this is concerning, stupid, prison, threat, petition, grievance, injustice, diversity, ethics, accessibility, vaccine, senior ops, living wage, representation, unfair, favoritism, rate, unity, plantation, slave labor, master, concern, freedom, restrooms, robots, trash, committee, coalition. All those words are banned in a internal or proposed worker chat app. And this is per internal company documents. And this here, a recent study of 2021 CEO pay, Amazon boss Andy Jassy, that's Bezos' successor, collected a pay package of nearly $213 million, much of which is tied up in restricted stock options awards. Jesse's package comes to about 6,500 times the $32,855 median Amazon worker. You see the problem there? Look, I don't care about this guy collecting $213 million. That's not the issue. The issue is the worker bees who are pissing in bottles, crapping in diapers, both drivers as well as workers. They're monitored when they're even to go to the bathroom and everything. They are surveilled. Horrific conditions in warehouses. $32,000. I mean, come on, with the rising rents, rising food prices, and everything else going on, the inflation, it's ridiculous. There's this disparity. We need to have a new system in the United States where there's more of an equilibrium between management, capital, investors, and the workers. And we can do it. We did have more than a taste of that before Reagan became president. And although Carter started to usher in some of the neoliberal Tea Party-ish economics of deregulation, notably in trucking and airlines. So I hail all these labor union struggles, whether the Starbucks workers, Kellogg's, the teacher strikes in states like Arizona, West Virginia some years ago. Support them all. And they need to become more widespread because a rebalancing is sorely needed in this country. I thank you all for listening to this podcast of the Populist Patriot. I'm going to be doing a couple of others tonight, so I'll see you soon. Take care.